Hey everyone, my name is Alex Dee. It is my pleasure to welcome the Director of Regulation, Ryan Patch, to the W. Hey Ryan, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Ryan, your film, Regulation, really wrecked me. It is such an amazing film. I was wondering if you could talk more about your process of finding stories and choosing stories to tell.
In complete transparency, I was trawling for a sci-fi film. The actual microdoser concept that was actually presented kind of intact from a Harvard bioethicist blog that I was just reading. A friend of a friend who blogs about interesting issues coming up in bioethics. The actual technology was sitting under our nose, available for anyone to see, but then kind of my more general knowledge is what made me think, well, okay, what would this actually look like on a society level? Understanding your culture, understanding your surroundings, and kind of mashing all those together is where a lot of these things come from.
Were there any other inspirations for this film? And I want to specifically focus on the role of Mia and her character.
I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about my own experience with chronic mental health issues. The member of my family that I'm very close to, who struggles with his own mental health, and that's caused him to live a life that to me and a lot of our family doesn't look very productive. It doesn't look like kind of what we'd call flourishing or kind of being fully human. And that's a really interesting thing when you start thinking about it in yourself, because you're kind of saying, I think I have a better idea for what would make your life good than even you do. I wanted audiences to understand kind of the clear motivations and temptation that you could have to put yourself in a situation like Mia, where you're doing something like Mia does.
That's such a powerful way of, I guess, approaching storytelling, is to really make people put themselves into the story. It's completely understandable to want somebody to be happy.
Happiness is the kind of specific instance that I've kind of orbited around in this film, but what I was kind of more interested in was the idea of control and the belief that with enough science and enough political power, we can create an ideal or perfect world. Now, I'm not saying that science is not very useful for helping us live better lives. Absolutely not. I'm also not saying that politics are useless towards helping society thrive. Absolutely not. But again, idols are usually, almost always, as Tim Keller said, good things that are made ultimate things. If we don't understand that our actions are subject to these distortions, then we're gonna kind of, our best intentions will end up here.
Were you trying to, in this film, show multiple sides of that? Or what was your guiding light to show the sides of this issue of the desire for control?
The thing about control is that I think part of what makes this perhaps more relevant right now is that politics are they're everywhere. Everything has been politicized, from what food you eat to what ride-hail app you use. But then at the same time, hopefully this film encourages you to look at your opponent's motivations and see that them trying to do the same thing is, while maybe misguided, as I just said, does come from a good place.
I think that's just the nature of humans themselves. Is we have these desires, and if we don't orient themselves properly, then they can destroy us. Even the good ones.
I wanted people to come away with kind of a deeper understanding or knowledge of how they're kind of only one step away from that themselves, and not focus on, oh well, that's what the other people do, and kind of guess at who I'm pointing the finger at, who is the evil person in our society. Because I'm not really interested in, again, giving people more ammunition to point at other people, to blame other people for the problems that are going on, but more interested in kind of trying to get people to self-examine.
Ryan, thank you, man, for stopping by the W. We are such big fans.
Well, thanks so much for having me. I also should definitely thank AEI's Initiative on Faith in Public Life. They're located in DC and are some of the people that I interacted with during my time in DC that really formed my understanding of public policy and of faith in public policy, which definitely formed many of the themes that regulation explores.